at one point, sa isang conversation natin, through chat, kung sabi mo nga, yung activity, kung masustain ng isang Kenneth Llover, possibly manalo on the scorecards eh. What were the aspects all throughout the fight that surprised you? Kasi sinabi mo na nga kanina, nabanggit mo rin kay Kenneth Llover na stylistically, this is going to be difficult eh. It's going to be, he's going against insurmountable odds. Ano yung mga aspeto in that fight na masasabi mong napapalakpak ka o nabigyan mo ng nod of approval si Kenneth Llover na do you think na kung yung aspeto ng laban na yun o aspeto ng laro niya na sustain niya until the very end, posible nakuha niya yung panalo against Michael Angeletti?
You know, to be honest with you, nothing about the fight surprised me. Kasi it really happened exactly the way we thought it would. In the early going, Tol, I was honestly praying and hoping na sana masustain. Because if he keeps moving like that, keeps punching like that, you know, until the 12th and final round, I was sure baka mahirapan makakuha ng round si Angeletti eh. But the thing is, ito yung lagi ko rin sinasabi, na it doesn't matter what you know, it doesn't matter what you can do. If you do not have the gas tank and stamina to do it, then it doesn't matter. Mapipilitan kang tumayo. You know, later on, si Kenneth, makikita natin, medyo napapatalikod na siya. Later on, makikita natin, napaluhod siya nung, well, to be fair, meron din namang low blow doon, pero he also took his time to rest, no? So it doesn't matter. Kahit anong advantage mo, kahit anong galing mo, if you don't have the gas tank, it won't hold up. It doesn't matter. Now, ang concern ko kasi dito, Tol, nabanggit natin, you know, on his biggest and most important fight to date, dun pa nawala yung Alex Ariza. Ayun ang pinagtataka ko, no?
I was about to bring that up. Yeah.
And I think nakita natin, yung absence ni Alex Ariza, I think nakita natin na kung gaano ka-importante having a strength and conditioning coach here. But since you're about to bring it up, then go ahead and bring it up.
Yun nga, Tol, kasi, okay, on the surface, we're looking at yung sabihin natin resistensya, conditioning ni Kenneth Llover during the fight. Pero siguro, let's atras muna tayo ng konti. Kasi speaking of Alex Ariza, dahil si Alex Ariza rin ang tumiyata yung nutritionist ni Kenneth Llover. And it's no secret, nagkaroon ng sabihin natin, munti ka na, a near mishap on the scales yesterday. Overweight si Kenneth Llover, and fortunately for him, in the second attempt, nakuha niya yung timbang. Ayun nga, do you think isa pa rin yung problema? Kaya hindi yung the first attempt, sabihin natin nagka-problema, nahirapan si Kenneth Llover, dahil nabanggit mo na nga kanina, wala si Alex Ariza. Do you think that's a factor also?
To be honest, to be fair, kasi nagkaroon din ng weigh-in mishap nung time ni Alex eh. So hindi ko masabi na
August last year.
So, so I don't think and I won't say na nangyari ito kasi wala si Alex Ariza, because again, it also happened. I was in touch with Team Llover in the morning of the weigh-in and they told me that, sir, okay na. Nakatimbang na tayo. Pagtungtong, I think it was 0.3 pounds na over siya. Right? Something like that. And they were able to get it in the second try. I don't know. Hindi ko na alam kung hindi calibrated yung scale. I don't know exactly what happened. I won't blame it on Ariza. I won't blame it on not having Ariza sa training camp, because again, it also happened while he was there. But the thing is, these things, wala, nangyayari talaga. I don't know. I can't say exactly. Alam mo kung wala, kasi before Ariza kasi, sa totoo lang, Tol, hindi naman talaga nangyayari na nagmimiss si Kenneth ng timbang eh. Right? Kaya nga sinabi ng mga tao, yun yung kritisismo eh. Bakit kung kailan nandiyan si Ariza tsaka sumablay sa timbang? Yeah. Well, I don't know kung ano.
Is it the age? Do you think is it the age? Do you think it's the age?
I know for a fact that nung part ako ng promotion na yun, nung August Luis Concepcion, yung timbangan ay hindi calibrated. They had it sa scale. Before they stepped out of the hotel, they thought they had the weight in check, and then pagdating nila sa gab scale, hindi calibrated. Either way, tinanggal din naman ni Kenneth quite easily. So, whether it has something to do with, the age or not, I can't tell for sure. Only Team Llover can answer, I think.
Now, JM, of course, if we're going to compare it side by side, di ba? Sabi natin, konti lang naman ang diferensya. Entering this fight, si Michael Angeletti was 14-0, if my memory serves me correctly. Tapos si Kenneth Llober, undefeated, 17-0 prior to this fight. Pero malaki bang factor? Sabihin natin virtually identical in terms of record, pero yung quality of opponents heading into this matchup, do you think malaking factor yon na pumabor kay Michael Angeletti?
You know what? The quality of opponents, I think, are just about the same. You know, it's not like Angeletti was taking names in the, you know, in the bantamweight division, no? But one thing's for sure, yung kanilang last fight, I think, you know, si Kenneth medyo parang bonus stage na lang kasi yung last fight niya, yung Chinese na hindi sumuntok. In fact, he was criticized for, you know, doing that fight. Eh ako naman, in my head, you know, it was the kid's fourth fight in 2025. Kumbaga, maybe we can give him a break. But in terms of name competition, in terms of quality competition, hindi rin naman ganun sobrang ano. Sabi nga ni Ator Ed, like what, a year or two ago, lumalaban pa ng 6-rounders ito si Angeletti. So it's not like we can say na sobrang lamang in terms of competition and in terms of level of opponents yung Angeletti. One thing is for sure, lamang sa activity o Kenneth kasi, diba, before this, Angeletti was what? On the bench for like a year, right? This June. He's been sidelined for June, and Kenneth has come a very active year, and he fought 4 times in 2025. So, you know, in terms of that, hindi ko naman masabi na quality of opponents na naging, you know, factor dito.
Now, JM, do you see this as a momentum shifter para kay Kenneth Llober? Kasi obviously the goal is for him to get a title shot. And hindi mo naman ako masisi na always naiisip ko ito ang situation ni Michael Pareñas before. Lagi ko nababanggit yan. Same promoter, si Jerry din, same manager, Jerry Peñalosa din, na ganito yung naging situation hanggang sa Michael Pareñas, nakahanap talaga siya ng laban to disrupt that momentum heading to a potential world title shot. Ngayon ba, ikaw ba, nakikita mo rin yung same analogy para kay Kenneth Llober? O do you see some other ways for him to get this kind of redemption? Kasi parang, kung titignan natin yung resume, maaaring ito yung pinaka first test first litmus test niya as at this level
So, para sa mga nanonood po sa atin, ngayong tanghali pa ba? 5:37.
Hapon, wala pa. 5:37 pa lang.
So, mga nanonood po sa atin ngayong hapon, to give you a context, kasi ang dating Southpaw fighter, Southpaw din, di ba? Look at the similarities. And same, same sanctioning body, IBF. Okay, Michael Pareñas, nanalo ng title eliminator, hindi nakakuha. Nanalo uli ng title eliminator, hindi uli nakakuha. I think it was the third time na tinitle eliminator. Di ba? Tas natalo na. Okay? So, in a way, nagigets ko yung very similar, very reminiscent yung nangyayari dito. Honestly, tol, hindi ko alam kung gano'n din ang mangyayari kay Kenneth Llober kung nanalo siya dito. Surely, I was hoping na sana wag naman. Kasi kung manalo ka ng eliminator, parang deserve mo na eh. But alam naman natin sa boxing, maraming ibang powers dyan na gumagalaw. And in the case of Kenneth Llober, okay, unlike before, nung case ni Michael Pareñas at ni Jerry Peñalosa, this time, kahit papano, ang backer kasi ni Kenneth Llober ay dalawa na. May isa pang power, yung Kameda. Diba? So before, kung pinapasan lahat ni Jerry yung bigat of getting Michael Pareñas to a title fight, ngayon dalawa na kasing papasan sila doon, supposedly. Ngayon, it's going to be Jerry and Kameda. Now, does it guarantee that it will give him a title fight? Alam naman natin dito sa boxing, never say never. Diba? Hindi mo pwede sabihin, hindi, never yan na lalaban pa ulit. You just never know. Especially with the history of Jerry Peñalosa and IBF. Nakita na natin ito eh. So there's no reason for us to think, if our opinion is going to be based on facts, na baka idaan na naman sa isang eliminator. What I was hoping for, diba, since in essence, si Kenneth Luber ay mandatory na dahil bakante number 1 and 2 going to this fight.
Yeah.
What I was hoping for though is sana idiniretso na nila sa world champion. Kasi nga sinasabi ko, di ba mas mahirap manalaban ito kesa dun sa world champion itself. Conditioning wise. Style wise. Oo. So, ayun yung nangyari. Pero if manalo si Kenneth dito, I don't know. I think you make a valid point there na in the end, baka hindi niya rin makuha.
Pero ikaw, alisin mo muna natin yung naratibo na baka hindi niya makuha. Kung ikaw si Jerry Peñalosa, if ikaw si Koki Kameda, Mr. JM Siyasat, paano mo i-rebuild after this big blow? Kasi for sure, this is a significant defeat sa ledger ni Kenneth Luber. Kasi he is one step away from a potential world title shot. Potential po hindi po guaranteed. Alam niyo naman yung nangyayari sa mundo ng boxing. Pero ikaw, JM, how would you book it?
You know what, ang hirap niyang sagot mo, and I was afraid, yung tanong mo, I was afraid that you were going to ask me that, but I honestly don't know at this point. Kasi I've always felt like kapag hindi niya napanalo ang laban na ito, like back to zero. How many fights did it take him to get in this spot? Again, not even a world title shot, but only an eliminator. And how many fights it's going to take him again to get in the same spot of going into an eliminator. So ngayon, ang unofficial ranking, kasi number 1 and number 2, bakante, number 3, si Kenneth Luber. 4-5, Tenshin Enrico. Sa IBF. And number 6, si Michael Angeletti. Definitely, there's going to be a change in the rankings. Where he is going to land from here on, hindi ko pa alam. But one thing's for sure, it's going to take him another 2 to 3 fights, perhaps, bago siya makadaan uli ng eliminator, or maybe hindi nadadaan ng eliminator this time, straight to a world title shot. Yung Rico Masuda, they will entertain that fight. I know that for a fact. Yung Tenshin Nasukawa, there's no reason not to entertain that fight. If ever they get that fight, that's a big money fight and that's going to move him up the rankings. Pero the thing is, ngayong bumaba siya, ang tanong ngayon, papansinin ba siya nung Tenshin at Masuda? Ayun lang, kasi before hinahabol siya kasi siya yung nasa taas ng ranking. Ngayon wala nang dahilan kung paano siya habulin. And honestly, the sad thing about this is magpaka-totoo lang tayo, Kenneth Luber is not a money fight. Right? He is not a money fight, at least not yet. So if he is down the ranking, well, we would have to find opponents that would be willing to take him on, and Kenneth, on his part, whatever purse that he can get, build from that and climb the rankings again, perhaps towards another eliminator or maybe straight to a world title shot.